Shugoki changes.
Yep.
What's going on with Shugoki? Two things.
Well, wait, what's the goal here? What's the goal with your Shugoki update?
Excellent question. There's both sides of the thing.
Yeah.
When you fight against a Shugoki, it's extremely annoying right now on live because you have to guard break them to drop their shield, or their passive uninterruptible stance. Then it's down for 5 seconds. You can fight for a little bit. Eventually it comes back, and you have to guard break them again. They know you have to do this, so it becomes this like, when you're going to guard break, when you're going to do nothing. Super boring. It stalls the game out like crazy. And then on the other side, Shugoki doesn't really have a lot of ability on the offensive side to throw some of these attacks out there. So Shugoki's kind of stuck waiting for you, and you know that you're stuck waiting for them. So it's the slowest match in the game, I think. So what are we trying to do? We want Shugoki to be a trading machine. We think that's really interesting. But we want the Shugoki to have successful mix-ups and be able to sustain and initiate combat a little bit. So that's what we're going to try to do here.
Cool.
So let's break down the things. And that's how we're going to do it, I think. We're going to show you what kind of got broken down on the Shugoki, and then we're going to show you how we built it back up at the same time. So boom, number one, passive uninterruptible stance is entirely removed. Instead, many of the attacks, light attack, heavy attack, zone attack, this kind of stuff, is going to get the regular uninterruptible stance, a.k.a. super armor, that like Berserker or Warlord, for example, have. That's how it's going to go. Health has been reduced to 140 from 160. And we think that's a combination of like the passive interruptible being removed is going to be totally fine on the Shugoki. And then you'll see why we expect that a slight health drop will be totally fine, since we think they're going to be hitting and able to heal a little more.
Right, because the Shugoki's no longer taking more damage when it's in passive and uninterruptible stance.
Exactly, because there is no passive uninterruptible
gone.
stance. Perfect.
But
So
I've heard his Demon's Embrace is now a much more reliable way to heal himself.
it's actually usable in 1v1 combat. You don't just need a wall to do that. It's still just as good in group fights in a slightly different way, and we'll see how in a minute. So first up, light attacks. How do we build this guy back up? Light attacks are 500.
They were 600.
They were 600, so you couldn't really throw them out there unless you thought the guy was going to guard break you. So they're 500, and you get uninterruptible stance, normal super armor, at 200 milliseconds into the strikes. So you can see him throwing like light, and he gets super armor. So he's well protected. Same deal on the heavies. You get heavy super armor when you launch the heavy strike portion. It becomes a little more interesting on this one. Heavy attacks can now be feinted even once they reach the unblockable phase, as you're seeing there. Heavy attacks can also cancel into Demon Embrace even once they make it to the unblockable portion. And you just saw that there. And the timing on the openers are now 800 in the quickest version of the heavy. So no charge. And it used to be 1100
Yeah,
MS.
it's much faster now.
Yeah, so you can throw them out as, parry punishes and stuff like that. There's a minor stamina cost increase as well. Or, how do I say it? Buff. It's always 12 to throw a heavy rather than 12 plus charging penalty.
Cool.
So that's out. What else do we change? Headbutt. Headbutt is no longer guaranteed after a light attack, but you can throw out the headbutt after a light, after a heavy, after a zone attack.
And it doesn't actually matter if they hit or miss.
Yeah, so you can see him like whiff here. Maybe.
2 seconds?
That was a zone attack. There you go. So you can still do interesting things in group fight. You can bait people a little more that some other characters are like. So that's kind of interesting as well. Demon Embrace. We removed it from neutral for a couple of reasons. The big one being it's super annoying in group fights, in that's really Shugoki's big role is get the hug or get the unblockable heavy. So that's gone. You can still get it from throw, so still guaranteed off of wall splat. You can get it from any of your heavy cancels. And the timings are slightly different. You get uninterruptible stance 500 into it. You can still cancel it from heavies, that kind of thing. So we actually expect that it's something you'll be able to do when starting a heavy and sometimes doing Demon Embrace. It's also interesting in timing-wise, you'll see after a headbutt succeeds, you're so frame advantage that it's hard to tell, is it a real heavy, is it an unblockable heavy, is it a feint guard break, is it a Demon Embrace? That's the mix-up we're trying to set up. And same thing you'll see after the Demon Embrace. Timings are changed here such that you're so far ahead on frames as well that you should be able to throw a light that they will have to quickly defend against, or a heavy unblockable mix-up, and repeat the, is it a real unblockable mix-up? Is it a feint guard break? Is it a Demon Embrace? So you can think of it as like knockdown, wake-up combo mix-ups in some other games. That's what we're trying to set up with Shugoki.
Cool.
So that's super hype. What else do we change on the Demon Embrace? There's no more critical HP, gives you a one-hit KO stuff. That's not super fantastic in groups either. It's just annoying that Shugoki hugs you and kills you out of nowhere. At the same time, there's variable rules on the commander. That's odd. Instead, we say, no, it's a successful tool that we're going to use to heal, does 25 damage, heals 25 HP
Across the board,
no matter what you're at. Does that make sense?
All stamina as well.
Yes, the biggest thing, I always forget this. Shugoki regens stamina. We're at 0. Sad. Try again. But you'll see, Shugoki uses all his stamina to pressure, goes out of stamina, Demon Embrace, and then can get it all back for the hug, successful hug.
beautiful.
And can continue pressure, restart pressure.
Right.
So they're
So you
down
wanted
90
to keep the move, but change the way it's been known.
Exactly. It's still going to be successful. It's still a big disruptor and a definer in group fights. The difference that you'll see also in group fights is that if your friend hits you before you get the hug part off, it will interrupt the same way Shaman's Bite works, or the same way Highlander's Caper Toss works. You'll still.
That's a big change too.
It's a big change. So it's not an automatic death sentence for Shugoki to hug you anymore. Your enemy team will still be able to set up hug followed by hit from their friends. As you saw in the Breach match, Shugokis are getting a lot of kills this way. So we think it'll be totally successful. What else have we maybe seen a little bit here, but we haven't touched on? Heavy unblockable finisher is possible now, as you saw there. And same rules as the opener. It can be feinted in the unblockable portion. It can be transitioned into Demon Embrace during the unblockable portion. All these options are there.
The Demon's Embrace also doesn't interrupt Revenge. Right?
That's right. We did remove that. So moves should be safe for you to activate Revenge with your Goki in your face. Other little pieces. Zone attack is 600 MS. It used to be 900 MS. It's also one hit all the time now. But as we said, it can flow into Headbutt. It can flow into Heavy Finisher, which can, of course, upgrade to Unblockable Heavy Finisher or Demon Embrace.
And now it's a single strike.
Exactly. It's because before, really, you only really wanted to feint that second zone attack anyway. So why not give you the option of 3 stances, left, top, right, heavy, as you like.
Right.
Any other minor details on this
Sprint.
character? Sprint. We changed it to top.
So it's now a top stance attack.
Yep. So when Shugoki runs into a fight, it's more of a thump.
You can link that to headbutts and heavy finishers, right?
Exactly. So if he locks, he can, do whatever he wants afterwards, which is super cool. So he can still enter a fight and be disruptive, but it's a little less annoying to side people.
Demon Ball is much faster.
It is 800 MS. It used to be
1200.
Thank you, Eric. Master here.
Very good at this game.
Perfect. Feet hard to kill. That was the other big one we changed.
Let's talk about feet.
So it used to be damage resistance at variable levels across the board, blah, blah, blah. We've reduced it by 20% at each level. So it used to go all the way up to 50. Now it goes up to 30. This is because you're no longer paying that penalty for passive uninterruptible stance removed extra damage. boom, boom, boom. So mathematically, it should roughly work out to about the same. Shugokis are still hard to kill.
Cool.
But that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. I love reading and replying to all your comments down below. And feel free to check out my Discord and Twitter. There is a link down below in the description box for both of those as well. The Discord is a great way for me to talk to you guys outside the YouTube comment section. And of course, the Twitter is a great way for you guys to get a notification whenever a video is being uploaded, because YouTube is a bit weird sometimes. And if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out my Patreon. There'll be a link down below in the description box, and a link will pop up at the end of the video. And if you choose to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And a big shout out to my current patrons whose names you've been seeing in the background. Just wanted to say thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot. And please share this video around, it does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.